Hey kids! Are you getting sick of the same old tired board games? Don't you worry. We have a new sensation for you to unpackage just in time for the holidays. That's right. Hitting shelves this BIPOC Friday from Fisher Prize, the makers of All-You-Can-Eat Pizzagate, and the tabletop game that took the world by the calm before the storm, Clinton's in Wonderland, comes a whole new adventure. It's Pedopoly. Pick from a multitude of your favorite pedo celebrities. You could be Tom Hanks, America's favorite dad with a penchant for the Instagram macabre. Or why not be Ellen DeGeneres and flaunt that little St. James flavored dance around the board? Or how about any executive at Nickelodeon? Those rascals who for decades lovingly slimed their way across the faces of children and right into our hearts. And who could forget about Oprah, who single-handedly helped some of our favorite sex cult leaders spread their wings and fly? And if those choices are too on the nose for you and you'd like to traverse the board incognito mode, there's plenty of other inverted celebrities to choose from. Mom and Dad, we haven't forgotten about you.
I want your soul.
Put the kids to bed, invite over a few other couples, draw the shades, and set up the board for an after-hours sessions of Pedopoly. Pair up or swap out and pick from a plethora of high-power pedo couples. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. Powerhouse pedo couple Billary, who are always favored to cross the board unscathed. Or go more unconventional with the likes of Seth MacFarlane and Marky Mark Wahlberg. Those lucky fuckers who missed their flights on 9/11 only to become the best controlled opposition in the business. Plenty of other couples await your pick. Red scarves dangle from every doorknob you pass by, so keep your eyes wide shut with every turn as many perils and pitfalls await your fate with just one unlucky roll of the dice. You might get snagged up in a Wayfair season blowout scandal. Or land on Anon Alley where you might get chased down by gun-toting Trump supporters. Or Cappy Overpass where you could take a dive for having the inclination to tell on your friends. Avoid at all costs Aquino Avenue where any player will most certainly be sacrificed to Moloch. Try to pass by the public transit station where you might get thrown under the bus by your friends to save their own asses. Or you could land on Go Straight to Jail Square and be forced to shack up with the likes of fallen soldiers such as Epstein, Diddy, or Weinstein. I hear he might be getting out soon. But don't worry, many players will be allowed to hop right back in the game without even losing a turn.
Being too handsy, you know.
With a huge number of other honey traps too irresistible to pass by, only one player or pair will make it over the rainbow to victory and walk away with the grand prize. Your very own private island. Bonus points can also be redeemed for a weekend getaway to any desert ranch compound of your choosing. Other consolation prizes include a Podesta pizza party, a tour through beautiful Laurel Canyon, or be a guest speaker at the next spirit cooking extravaganza, where you will be introduced and blessed by High Priestess Marina Abramovich. With prizes this dazzling, who the hell wouldn't want to play Pedopoly?
Hey y'all, I just wanted to take a minute of your time to talk about this here game. Me and my wife are a little hard on cash these days after my YouTube ministry channel tanked. They got mad at me for saying fuck the devil on the live stream, and here I thought we hated this motherfucker. So anyways, we took in a couple fosters for the monthly stipend, black or white, I don't care. We're just trying to do the Lord's work. And buddy, let me tell you what, they love the shit out of this game. We just thrown it down in the floor for them, and we can run to the casino for a couple hours, and they're still playing it when we get back. It's just a absolute godsend. Oop, hold on, there's my wife. She's got a little dementia going on. Come here.
Hey, sure.
This is Tammy Wynette Faye. She took the scissors to her face the other day, God bless, and that's not the kind of scissoring we usually do, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Suge, I just put Wingspan and Banjo down for bed and I forgot where the bedroom was.
That's alright, honey. Ain't we been having a lot of fun playing Pedopoly after the kids take their Dimetap PM?
Well, should we draw the curtains and have a good old time?
They don't call it sundowners for no reason, let me tell you.
It's just changed our life. I just up my estrogen blockers and I just, sorry to be upset, I just love this game so much.
I know you do, honey. I know you do. All right, Shug.
Okay, Shug.
This game...
make me some grits.
Okay, you go on and do that.
Okay.
This game is one of a kind, and I recommend it to everyone.
Pedopoly. Fun for the entire family.
This is Dr. Disinfobation, and I approve this message. Five, four, three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the roughest hour in podcast land, Disinfobation, with your host, Dusty, that's me, and Kobe. What's going on, my brother?
Well, that's me. Well, I will correct you. Lately, we've been recording less, but when we do record, we're going like over 2 hours because we're kind of playing catch up. So this is the roughest couple hours, you motherfuckers. And what is it? It's September 28th. Trump's still walking around. They haven't tried to take Kamala out yet. I did hear her claim that they were shooting at one of her buildings, but I haven't heard if that was corroborated.
I saw that. I saw that they said that they shot into the DNC or one of her campaign buildings, not DNC, but in one of her campaign buildings.
Which is, there is no difference, right?
I guess not, yeah. But she,
it was a building of her campaign. I didn't hear the
yeah,
detail.
and there's been some kind of threat on Biden, too, or something like that. Which
they're going to blow air at him and break his frail ass in half.
Yeah, I know, right? Fart on him and have him crumble.
Dude, you know, I was thinking the other day, he doesn't even come out anymore. And as soon as I thought that, I was listening to a show I listened to, one of the talk radio guys, and they played a clip of him finally emerging, and he's just as bad as he was in the debate times 1,000. And it's almost like, to them, it's a way to make Kamala look better, you know? Like, well, here's the guy we had, and he can't fucking talk about... Oh, he's talking about the Second Amendment. Can we pull it up? Because...
yeah.
He actually starts saying some shit that he said in the past, but he makes it even more ridiculous. I'm gonna have to send it to you because I still haven't figured out my fucking thing. But let me grab it real quick.
Well, he just signed a fucking executive order.
Yeah, Biden signs order aimed at reducing gun violence. I see that. Pull it up if it takes me too long to find it. But he basically is saying...
Order directs president's staff to research how active shooter drills may cause trauma to students and educators in an effort to minimize harm. Vice President Kamala Harris said Thursday she believes the right to be safe is a civil right, and that means a right to live free from gun violence, as President Joe Biden signed an executive order that seeks to restrict new technologies that make guns easier to fire and obtain. It is a false choice. Go ahead.
You go ahead and keep reading. I was just going to tell you I'm sending you this video clip.
Okay. It is a false choice to suggest you are either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away, Harris said during an East Room event. I'm in favor of the Second Amendment, and I believe we need to reinstate the assault weapons ban. Harris said the American people have the right to live, work, worship, and learn without fear of violence, including gun violence. Do they really think that gun violence will stop if they get rid of assault rifles? Dude, that is the dumbest fucking argument ever.
All right. Here's my argument, and I know that you've thought of this, and many of us on the logical side have. All these motherfuckers screaming for fucking gun control. How many of them have armed guards? How many of them have that shit going on? You're going to let those fuckers keep their guns, I'm sure.
I know, right? Wyden's open in there.
I am in favor of the Second Amendment, and I believe we need to reinstate the assault weapons ban.
New federal task force to be set up. New executive
Our
order.
sign is combating emerging firearms threats and improving school-based active shooter drills. Never thought I'd have to sign something like this, but we do.
What do you think?
Bravo.
Introduce the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
And it is a false choice to suggest you are either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away. I am in favor of the Second Amendment, and I believe we need to reinstate the assault weapons ban.
Oh, no,
Why?
you didn't.
Pistols can kill just as many people.
And pass universal background checks, safe storage laws, and red flag laws.
And that is why it is my honor to introduce President Joe Biden, who has been a true friend.
Well, today I'm proud to announce a new executive order. That's going to do two additional things. First, the executive order will establish a new federal task force on emerging firearm threats. But folks, the law also invests over $1 billion, the largest one-time ever investment ever in seeking to deal with mental health issues in our schools. There's so much more we have to do. I think it's time to reinstate the assault weapons ban and high-capacity magazines. And I've been fighting for this. I'm going to continue after I leave this office. End immunity for the gun industry. End it, end it, end it.
He almost fell over. Well, in the full speech, I did hear a little bit of it. He was like, "The founding fathers didn't even understand. Come on, man. They didn't. You couldn't even buy a cannon back then, man. Come on." Which isn't true. You could buy a cannon right now. You can fucking go on eBay and buy a cannon. I tried. I didn't have the money for it, but I just was curious. What's your opinion on all that bullshit? So also, I want to get, what's your take on the definition of an assault weapon? Because to me, that's a broad fucking term.
It is. Any weapon can be an assault weapon, bro.
I could assault you with a spoon.
I mean, dude, anything can be an assault weapon. Like, yes, you could assault me with a spoon. And what is it, an assault spoon? I mean,
If I fucking stabbed you with it, that would make it an
and I'll
assault
tell you
spoon.
right now, most people are better shots with pistols than they are with an AR-15 because you have to zero the sights and shit on an
Yeah.
AR-15.
You're talking about
it
random
requires a
street
lot of target
violence?
practice.
If you're talking random street violence, what are they using? It's not fucking rifles. It's not fucking assault guns or AKs or ARs. It's fucking pistols.
Yeah, it's pistols. And I guarantee you that there's got to be an ulterior motive for them to go after assault weapons for some weird reason. It's always assault weapons. It's not like assault weapons, like all of a sudden it's going to be this magic cure that stops people from shooting up places.
What do you think they mean when they say assault weapon? What do they mean by that?
I mean, I think they mean like any AR-15 style gun, anything that's been modified. I mean,
Well,
in
that's
any
funny
way.
that you use the words AR-15 style, because you remember our boy last week. We didn't even say his name when we. It's been 10 days since we recorded, and we talked. It was a couple days after this second assassination attempt, but they called it an AR-15 style gun because it wasn't an AR-15, but they said AR-15 style. So it's funny that you use that terminology.
I've probably seen it or heard them say it. I guarantee you, it got in my brain. With all this brainwashing they do. I mean, I think it was like what he had was something like a SKS type.
That's what it was. So, did you notice they said reinstate the assault weapons ban? I didn't realize that Clinton had signed something into effect that was much like what they're trying to do here. Do you know anything about that?
No. What did he try to do?
I think he did it. Let's look it up.
They did ban assault weapons for a while. I know that.
I think it must have been when Clinton was in office, because I was just curious about it, because I keep hearing them say reinstate, which means to me this isn't the first time they've done this. So I'll just Google Clinton assault ban, see what comes up here now. The Public Safety and Recreational Firearms Use Protection Act, popularly known as the Federal Assault Weapons Ban, was a subsection of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, a United States federal law which included a prohibition on the manufacture for civilian use of certain semi-automatic firearms that were defined as assault weapons. All of them are semi-automatic, motherfucker, unless you're using like a muzzle loader or an old school shotgun. They were defined as assault weapons, as well as certain ammunition magazines that were defined as large capacity. I wonder how long that was in effect. Because at some point it expired on September 13th, 2004, which was when W was in office. So that makes sense that he let that shit lapse.
Yeah. And during that time period, Columbine happened, and they used shotguns.
What was that, 97, 99?
Yeah, something like that. 99, I think. 98, 99, because I remember being in school when it happened.
Yeah, I think I
maybe
was in
90s.
junior high.
Yeah, it was 90 something. But yeah, it was before. It was after.
Oh my
94.
God, I forgot. It was one of those things that happened on 420, 1999. So yeah, it was right in the middle of all that shit. Pretty much smack dab in the middle. 5 years after it went into effect, 5 years before it lapsed.
Yeah. Pretty crazy shit.
What do you think of Columbine? Do you think there's any fuckery afoot? Because we always dissect these modern day school shootings as like these activated drones and stuff that you like to say.
No, I think those two were just some real fucked up kids. I really do.
Yeah, I could see that. Like the intelligence agencies jumped on it as a prototype, or I could see that they made it happen as the prototype. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised, because
Possible.
If nothing else, they never waste an opportunity. Because, dude, that same year there was school shootings like up in the double digits all over the country, but they were all in low income neighborhood black schools. So the media didn't grasp any of it. There was also a school shooting that happened somewhere in like, God, I want to say it was Philadelphia, but don't quote me on that. And it was before Columbine, and it was just as bad, and it was a white school, but the sensationalization did not happen. So there was something about Columbine that they really wanted to grasp onto and make it like the mass shooting that would happen over and over again.
Mm-hmm. They definitely did.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, it was the model. And you know, both those boys were like really fucked up in the head, and I think they had some run-ins with like counselors and stuff. So there's possibility that they were
both heavily medicated.
Yeah, so I mean, there's no telling, man.
And dude, I remember I listened to Chris Graves, who covers this extensively and does a really good job, and he was talking about how there was like kind of like with the Laurel Canyon shit. Like there was parents that were high up ranking intelligence military style fucking positions. I don't remember exactly what they were, but you can never overlook those things either. Like with the Aurora, Colorado shooting, same fucking thing. The Batman
Yeah.
movie theater.
Oh yeah, that was trippy.
He was also undergoing some weird scientific experiments in college, which
Yeah.
fucking Clockwork Orange.
That's when I first started thinking that they were like brainwashed drones. That's when I first started
Aurora?
thinking it. Yeah.
I mean, you look at that kid in trial, man, even if he wasn't drugged up at the time it happened, whatever the fuck they had him on during that trial.
Like
Those are
he just
creepy.
walks out and like puts the stuff in his car and just like the police surround him and he just like stands there. Like if you hear the first reports on it, like he was guaranteed he was brainwashed. I'm shocked he didn't take his own life.
I think they wanted the courtroom spectacle with that one. So if he was activated, that wasn't part of the activation program, and he wasn't supposed to take himself out or do suicide by cop kind of thing. Because if you
Yeah.
remember the spectacle that followed, the Batman movie had just come out, and he shows up looking like the goddamn Joker in the courtroom.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy fucking people. So you never know. You just never know. Like I've always thought that when that judge's husband got killed, I always
Oh
thought
yeah,
that one was,
you talked about this like way back in episode 3. So the guy went in and shot the wrong person at the house, and then went and shot himself on a park bench, right? Something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was very weird.
What year was that? It was like
That was
2010
a
or
couple of
something?
years ago, yeah. No,
Oh.
this was just a couple of years ago that it happened.
So well.
Dude-
We talked
dude
about
walked
it 2
up.
years ago
Yeah.
on our show.
Yeah.
So it
It
could have
happened
been
like not long ago. This was recent. The dude just walked up and I think he shot the son.
Yeah, he shot
and-
the family member of the judge. I don't remember who it was. We
Yeah.
looked it up last time.
And then just turned around and walked away and went and blew his brains out on the park bench. And he was like some type of lawyer that apparently hated women, but he didn't kill a woman. He just killed, like, it was weird. Like,
It was in July of 2020.
Yeah, so that's bizarre. That was a bizarre one. I always thought that was really bizarre.
Are you a trans man who would love to have your very own member? Well, we have just what you need. And I'm not talking about some rubber junk that gives the illusion you have a cock. I'm talking about your very own functioning penis. I know you're thinking, there's no way to give a trans man a penis. They've tried everything. The damn thing just won't grow. And no one wants a penis grown on a rat's ass. So here at 3D Solutions, we've come up with the right thing for you, and that's 3D printed dicks. That's right, folks. We take a piece of your thigh, put it in the Cock Printer 3000, and within 15 minutes, you'll have a cock that rivals John Holmes that most men would be proud of. But we don't just make huge giant members here. If you want to have the drive to overcompensate by purchasing a large four-wheel drive pickup truck or a muscle car, then go with the mini cock, because there's no dick discrimination here. Pick your size, small, medium, or large, and we'll attach it using our new skin welding technique that allows us to connect your new throbbing member and have you standing up to take a piss in no time.
Side effects include confusion, happiness, sadness, penis envy, leakage, and other mild side effects such as limp dick, permeerection may occur in some patients. If your erection lasts longer than 7 business days, please contact your doctor or go straight to the emergency room. Warning, 12 inches long or 8 inches wide may cause severe damage to your partner and may even cause death by super dick.
Try Cock Printer 3000 and enjoy your penis for the rest of your life.
Well, let's switch it up a little bit. I want you to bring a story first tonight.
All right, let's see what we got here. I got a story on Russia, not Russia, NATO. I'm sorry.
Same diff. If it's about NATO, I bet you Russia comes up.
NATO is planning for mass medical evacuations in case of a war with Russia.
A war where? There already is one going on.
I know, right? So NATO is planning for mass transport of wounded troops in case of a war with Russia. NATO could use hospital trains and buses to move injured troops in such an event. A German general told Reuters the general's comments come amid increasing tensions between NATO and Russia. NATO is developing plans to manage the evacuation of a large number of wounded troops in case of war with Russia, a senior military officer told Reuters. Lieutenant General Alexander Slaughter, the commander of NATO's Joint Support and Enabling Command, said that in the event of a war with Russia, Western forces would likely have to contend with different challenges to those they would have experienced in war zones like Afghanistan or Iraq. Yeah, they don't fucking stand a chance against us. The Russians will. He said a conflict with Russia would likely involve a larger theater of war and a higher number of wounded troops, as well as challenges to air evacuations posed by Russian air defense and fighter jets. Dude, I really still believe Russia hadn't even been using like their real army, like their main army in this Ukraine war. I really don't. I think they've been using like their like their reserves and fucking militias and shit like that.
Since you bring that up, what's Ukraine been using? Because to bring that fucking last fake assassin back into the fold, you remember how they said he was fucking trying to recruit people from all these fucking different weird random countries to go fight in Ukraine? And we get all this footage of like they're making trans people stay to fight and like all this stuff, but like, is anybody really fighting over there?
You know, man, your guess is as good as mine.
I would say like I would be shocked if with the Israel-Palestine conflict, those are just fucking pawns at the ready for the establishment war machine to fucking put into action. But with Ukraine and Russia, I would say the same could be said, but also the things that we've seen with it, the amount of propaganda, the celebrities that go over there, the fact that Zelensky is who he is, and the fact that I think Putin's been dead since 2019. I mean, all of it just looks like a huge wag the dog thing to me. Not to like go off like I usually do. You can get back to this article, but I just wanted to interject.
You think Putin has been dead since 2019? I know you said that before.
I do really think that because, dude, I used to listen to NPR every morning to get the propaganda fresh because they had that up first. We used to play clips from it all the time on here. But in 2019, it was like just a few months before COVID kicked off. There was this huge story about how he had like deadly fucking Parkinson's disease and he was getting ready to step down and his health was really bad. Now that could be a fucking red herring that was just thrown in there. That could be fake, but I saw a fucking huge change in him. It's like these body doubles we always talk about. He didn't look the same. When this war started, I kind of forgot about that story. Then I started thinking about it. I looked at pictures of him like back in 2015 and now he looks like a younger, fatter version of that guy.
He does look like a younger, fatter version of that guy.
So to me, this could all be going on even if Putin isn't alive, but the fact that they would keep him alive in a fake way just makes me think that it's just a fucking big theatrical performance.
Well, it would be crazy as fuck if he is alive. I mean, if he is dead and they've been using like a body double this whole time.
They did that with
and it's
Osama
really
bin
being
Laden for
controlled
years,
by
right?
the Russians.
Osama
Like
bin
this
Laden died
Russian-
before 9/11. He was the CIA.
Well, I'm just
asset.
saying, like,
Well,
it would be
no, I'm just
crazy
saying
if, like,
it's an example of
it
how
was
they
all
can
being
leave somebody.
controlled.
Right. It would be crazy, but we've seen them do crazier.
Yeah. They definitely are nuts. Dude, I'm telling you, man, we don't need to go to war with Russia. Like, for real. I don't think they understand.
Dusty, we always need to be on the brink of war with them, though. It's been the playbook since fucking World War II ended. We've always
Oh,
been
I
on the
know.
brink. I mean, I told you my mom and I talked with you last time we recorded about going to see that movie Reagan, but it just reiterated the entire fucking thing. It's like this fucking playbook they just keep recycling and recycling.
I meant to mention I watched the documentary called Reagan recently. It was
Probably more
on, I can't
truthful.
remember what it was on. And it was very, I was really surprised that they brought out a lot of the stuff they brought out. Like I was really surprised. Like, and this started when he was young and went all the way through till he was dead, basically. And I think it was several episodes. And I found it very interesting that they brought up like the Iran Contra and they brought up like the drug war and the failure of the drug war and they all kinds of stuff. Like it was really surprising.
How much, when they were talking about his assassination, did they allude to that it could have been our own State Department that tried to pull it off?
I don't remember. They didn't spend a lot of time on the assassination. I know that, and not in that documentary.
In this movie, there was a throwaway line. And it almost like, all of us over here in the conspiracy sphere think that George Bush, ex-CIA leader, and probably had something to do with JFK getting assassinated. I mean, the Hinckleys with the Reagan thing, the parents were having dinner with the Bushes, like right before that shit happened. And in the movie, it was like a throwaway line. They were just like, it was the two Russian spies talking, the older guy that John Voight was playing, and then his protege that was like taking over. And he was like laying it out for him. And the guy's like, oh, okay, so it was their State Department that did it. It wasn't us.
Oh.
And it just moved right on. And it was just like a little for people like us, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I could see it being that's what it was. I mean,
we really sidestepped from your article here. I apologize.
All right, it's all right. Let's see. Stefanik said the alliance strategy to move injured troops away from the front lines could therefore involve using hospital trains and buses. Air superiority will have to be achieved in the first place. It will require time to succeed over the entire length and depth of the front line. The German general said, for planning reasons, all options to take a great number of wounded medical installations need to be considered, which include trains but potentially also buses. The challenge will be to swiftly ensure high quality care for, in the worst case, a great number of wounded. Solfrank continued, adding that a military medical oxygen zone should be one way of getting around varying nations' medical regulations. The general comments come amid increasing tension between NATO and Russia. Russia's Vladimir Putin has been issuing increasingly strong warnings to the West as he anticipates a decision on allowing Ukrainian long-range missiles to strike on Russia. Ukrainian President Zelensky has long called for approval to use Western weapons like the British Storm Shadow missile and U.S.-made ATACMS missiles and systems to strike targets deep within Russia. That's what we need to do. We need to let Zelensky shoot targets in Russia. There you go. That's gonna solve the fucking
Hasn't
problem.
that already been happening?
I think they've been doing it in like smaller areas.
So they're
like
just trying to make
non-populated areas. They're trying to like hit Moscow.
With what?
With missiles. These missiles they got. They got long-range missiles. I mean, they're trying to make it where they can bomb cities in Russia. And that's just fucking retarded. That's just asking for, with our missiles, that's just asking for shit to happen.
I mean, we've been asking all along, right?
Oh, true.
We've been knocking on the World War III's door since you and I started this show.
Yeah, we've been talking about that red line forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is the red line? They gotta fuck Putin's wife?
Well, do you remember when Obama literally said he had a red line with Syria? And then they staged the gas attacks and blamed, what was his name?
Assad,
yeah.
and he was winning the war.
They blamed Assad, and then all of a sudden they were moving to go to war, and the American people were like, "Fuck no!" Obama set that red line. So it's similar to what like fake Putin's been saying since this thing kicked off. His red line keeps moving the further we get to it. Much like NATO, by the way. But
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, they're just trying to blow shit up and cause trouble. And I'll be honest with you, it just gets fucking old. I'm so tired of hearing about this fucking shit. Ukraine, Russia, United States giving fucking billions of dollars nonstop to these motherfuckers. It's like, seriously, dude. Like I just saw where like the other day when Zelensky visited, they gave him $8 billion.
just like a thanks for coming to visit fee. Here you go.
Yeah. $8 billion.
Don't worry. In the Pentagon book, this will just disappear like it always does.
And they got another $400 million package on en route, like trying to get it approved. It's fucking bizarre, dude.
And do you really think Trump would put a stop to those packages if he was to become El Presidente?
I have no idea. I really don't. I think he wants to end the war. I don't think he wants to have a war going while he's president. No one should.
Dusty and Leroy, I'm going to tell you right now, I would end that war in 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. But like I've said this before, I don't think any president should want war happening while he's in office, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest downfalls of Harris and Biden both.
Do you remember what I told you last week? Look at the history. Look at the history of elections. Wartime incumbent presidents, which Kamala on a technicality basically is. Nobody looks at Joe Biden as president right now. A war would help her chances of winning, historically speaking. And I'm not saying that would transpose on today's scenario, but historically speaking, it helps her out.
Yeah. Yeah. If people approve of the war, but I think way less people approve of the Ukraine-Russia war crap's going on, and people don't approve of this shit that's happening in Israel either.
Well, you know,
so you got it on both sides. You got people on one side that's against Ukraine war, and people on the other side are against the Gaza war. It's really weird.
And it almost flips because the people that are the most fervent about the Ukraine war oppose the Israeli conflict, which then you flip it on its other side, and it's the conservatives that are against the Ukraine funding. They're all for Israel. So it's like you're getting a huge war no matter who you vote for. And if you get Trump and RFK Jr. and Vance, notice how I put RFK Jr. above Vance. I think there's something happening there. Something's happening there. But anyway, I think that you nailed it, because it's like, which war do you want to vote for? In some cases, you might get them both.
Yeah, you're gonna get them both no matter what.
Because Kamala,
I don't know if Trump can end this war right now, Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to just do it without a whole bunch of steps you got to take. I don't know.
And a lot of concessions too. Like the only way it's going to end if Ukraine concedes to a lot of land and stuff that Russia claims is part of Russia and swears to never join NATO and all kinds of shit. And
that's where I come in. It's the art of the deal. I go in there, I shake Putin's hand, I pull him in, I pinch his nipple. It's over. It's over in 20 hours.
Ride horses together.
Well, that's the thing, is who's he got to sit down with to end the war? Putin or Zelensky?
Probably Putin.
You think?
Putin's Putin is the one who is refusing to budge on anything, and so is Zelensky.
But what does Putin want?
He wants those regions that he's already declared part of Russia, and he wants
two of those regions.
He wants guaranteed they'll never join NATO.
I mean, you can't look back since the early 90s when we started moving NATO east of Berlin very quickly. If you look decade by decade, that fucking thing just goes and then you're right up under Russia. So why would he fucking listen to that? He wouldn't. He has no reason to.
Yeah, and they'd have to sign some kind of like treaty, some kind of like it would have to be in writing or something.
Well, and
It'd
that's
have
the
to be
thing. Like, I never knew this because it depends on who you're hearing talk about it, or if it's like Dave Smith or like some like school of thought person that follows Chomsky. One of them would tell you that the thing that George H.W. Bush said, not another inch past Berlin, or however he said that. A lot of people say that wasn't in writing, and then a lot of people say it was. I don't fucking know. I haven't like dug into it. Either way,
I know that according to this Ukraine documentary that I watched, no, this Cold War documentary that I watched, Ukraine had nuclear weapons, and we guaranteed them they had nuclear weapons when the Soviet Union broke up, and we talked them into giving up their nuclear weapons with a guarantee that we would back them militarily if they gave up their nuclear weapons, and they did.
they gave up their scary dick-shaped props that we know don't exist.
There you go. But they did give them up. Apparently, that was like part of the documentary. They were talking about it, like, so we kind of pledged, like, not full military support, not like troops on the ground, but we pledged we would provide them with
funding.
weapons, and yeah, back in the 90s.
If that's true, that explains it.
That's what they said in that turning point. Which I'll tell you, that was an excellent thing about the Cold War.
Where did you watch that?
I think it's on Netflix. It's called Turning Point, the Cold War. It's pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
I'll watch it, but dude, anything Max too. Any documentary that I watch on Netflix or Max, I'll take it with a grain of salt and I'll give it a chance. But sometimes they put out fucking really good ones, both of them.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
Dude, I'm so pissed at Max, dude. I did that Disney bundle with Max, and those motherfuckers, I cannot figure out how to get Max to work. Like, it just will not work. I've tried my password. I've tried my Disney password, my everything. That's what I signed. I remember what I did. None of it works. It will not let me use Max. I'm so pissed.
Well,
I gotta call them, and I hate having to call customer service for anything, especially these fucking streaming services.
Welcome to a customer service. I'm gonna take an order pre.
Oh, I know. That's gonna be outstanding.
Before we get lost in the weeds of the middle-class white man's plight and not being able to get his shit figured out after he's fucking paid for Disney, let's move on to another story. So,
what you got?
Let's go back to Trump because, for those of you, by the way, we're officially now getting a lot more viewers. So our last episode saw some eyes, and
good.
I want to say, for those of you who wonder, I totally think that all of these assassination attempts are bogus. Dusty's on the fence, it sounds like. He's slowly coming over my way, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But did you happen to see anything about the rally in North Carolina that took place? It's actually a week ago today. So my mom was still here. And you know how she is, dude. She's funny because she's a Trump supporter, but she also looks at things like we do. And I just got done putting my son down for a nap. She's like, come here. She's watching this fucking rally live in North Carolina. And she goes, I want you to watch this short part of this rally and tell me what your reaction is to it. So she hands me her phone and I watch this. Whoever decides the things about what precautions you should take when you're about to be assassinated up for a third time decided that Trump should have bulletproof glass.
Oh, yeah, he's got glass over.
Bulletproof glass. Okay, so let's watch this.
We also have, and I alluded to it, a very important member of my family, far more important than Eric or Laura. and her name is Carolina, and she's beautiful, and she's sweet, and she doesn't know how evil life is. She hasn't experienced it yet, but she does know how great life is, and we want to make life great for everybody here, and we're going to do that. Can I ask Carolina to come up? Is that possible? Carolina, she sat on my lap during the Republican convention.
So right until now, that little girl is not behind bulletproof glass.
Make American great again.
Oh, that was great, honey. Wow. Thank you. What a good job.
It's at North Carolina, and her name's Carolina. That's fucking so cute.
I can see the new senator when Ted someday, he's going to say, sir, I've had it. I can't do it any longer. He's going to resign or...
So then he also has the grandson come up. We don't need to show that part. I think I made my point. So, Dusty, if you're afraid of your impending assassination, they're not going to stop until they kill me. They want me dead. Eric Trump, the father of that little girl, went on Megyn Kelly after the second attempt, almost in tears because he's saying they're trying to kill my dad. They're not going to stop. They're talking about having him stop doing outdoor rallies. So they have an outdoor rally. What's weird about that to you, what we just watched?
That he brought his granddaughter up on stage when he's got assassination people trying to assassinate him, and
his grandson. And his grandson. I mean, if you thought there was a chance that Trump was going to get shot, you wouldn't even have them there watching the rally, let alone fucking go up there.
I know, right? Like, hey, they don't care, man. He thinks he's invincible at this point.
Or it's a fucking show, and they know that nothing's going to happen.
True. True.
I mean, what do you think's more likely? They're just fucking retarded and think that he's invincible? Because Eric Trump told Megyn Kelly that he's just so worried about his dad. He doesn't want him to keep doing all these outdoor appearances and going golfing and stuff unless they step it up with the CIA or the Secret Service protection. So, yeah, they did give him bulletproof glass, but not until you're right up there. Not until you're right up at the podium.
Yeah, and last time the bullet came from behind the podium. Like at an angle behind the podium, like he hit his ear, like
wasn't it coming from the front though?
I don't think it did. I think it come from like the side.
We're both suspending disbelief, pretending there was a real bullet. But I thought the guy was from the upper right. Like if Trump's facing this way, it would be like coming from up there. I don't know if you can see where I was pointing.
Israel is kicking fucking. They're just fucking up Lebanon.
Are we like just are we just stopping this Trump shit real quick?
Sorry, I just saw this.
Right.
It just pops up. It's like, God damn! It's like every other article is like Israel's bombing Lebanon.
I get it.
Israel's killing
It's overwhelming.
This person.
Let's finish talking about this, and then if you want to talk about that next, we will, because I'm always down to talk Israel Palestine. It's a hobby of mine. But anyway, I just wanted to point out that you don't fucking bring your grandkids up in harm's way if you think you're in harm's way. And if you do, you're a fucking stupid piece of shit.
Again, like I said before, you don't stand up right after you've been shot at.
Dusty, I said that right when it happened. That's why I knew it was fake. It was a fucking movie. My mom said Mel Gibson wrote the script to that assassination. Like he stands up and instead of yelling freedom, he yells fight, fight, fight. I thought it was more like a Rocky movie. I could hear.
I'm shocked he didn't yell freedom.
That would have been better. Maybe Mel Gibson didn't write it. Mom, you're wrong. Anyway, say what you want to say about this and then we'll move on to your Israel thing.
Yeah, dude, I think it's stupid. I wouldn't bring my unless I knew nothing was gonna happen. I wouldn't bring my grandchildren up on stage.
And that
You never
unless
know
that unless is what
unless
I
they just knew they wasn't gonna happen.
honestly, dude,
And
you're a father. I'm a father. He's a grandfather. If he thought for a second that people were trying to shoot him, he probably wouldn't be up there at all, let alone to bring his fucking little kid grandkids up there.
true.
Anyway,
I
what you
don't
got to
know. At
say
this
about
point, it's
Israel?
weird. Just every article, Israel's been fucking them up, bro. They've killed
Is there anything
like
left of
fucking
Gaza?
dude. They're not just hitting Gaza now. They're fucking Lebanon up. They have
Well,
been
we
blowing
knew
up
that was going to
places in
happen after they
Lebanon left and
started
right.
when they started blowing up pagers, and if that was even a real story. But when they started doing that, it's like, yeah, Hezbollah's next because Gaza and Hamas, they're not in the news at all right now.
Dude, they are fucking Lebanon and Hezbollah up at this point, and they're not backing down at all. And it's crazy, dude. And then you got like Russia threatens war with nuclear weapons from UN General Assembly podium. I mean, these motherfuckers have got us on the brink of some shit. If there really are nuclear weapons, and even if there's not,
They'll fake it.
even if it's just a fucking ground war, you know how many motherfuckers are gonna die?
Well, look at like let's pretend you and I are right. Nukes don't exist. They still have something that could fucking devastate a city. And they used it in Vietnam, by the way. Whatever they used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where fucking skin is falling off little kids and there's fucking shadows burned into the walls. They used that technology in Vietnam and they didn't call it nuclear weapons. It was fucking chemical warfare. And I think a big chemical warfare firebomb is what they dropped in Japan twice in 3 days. And I think they have something. You remember the Moab? Trump dropped it in Afghanistan like his first year in office.
Yeah.
So the Moab
Biggest
is the
bomb,
mother of
yeah.
all bombs. MOAB, mother of all bombs. And it looks like a nuclear weapon when it blows up. Leaves the mushroom cloud and everything. I don't know. I'm just saying, even if they don't have the nukes, like you alluded to, they
have
can
some
touch
big
it.
bombs. Yeah.
And who cares?
They
if it's
definitely
a
have
nuke?
some big bombs.
I mean, just like zombies were really big for a while, and not that they always weren't, but like jammed down our throat like a fucking unlubed dildo for the last like 15 years. Now they're doing that with nuclear holocaust movies and shows.
Yeah.
I mean, Oppenheimer, did you ever watch Oppenheimer?
No, I still haven't watched that.
Dude, watch it.
I will. I have to give it a shot.
If the story is real, you watch the fucking beginning of it, it's almost like haunting how everybody knew that what they were doing, everybody involved in the Manhattan Project knew what they were doing was wrong, but it had to be done because if we don't do it first, the big boogeyman's going to do it. And that's been the story of everything. The fucking race to space. What haven't we been competing with Russia as far as like technological advancement goes, as far as like the world stage is concerned?
There's no telling. There's nothing really. I mean,
we're
it's
both
like
making human hybrids too. Alex
Oh,
Jones
yeah.
talked about that on Tucker. In fact, dude, if we ran out of shit to talk about tonight and you still got some steam in you, because I did bring a lot of stories, but I have the interview of Tucker Carlson with Alex Jones, and he goes on one of his famous rants. I don't know how far into it is. I heard it clipped, but I did pull up the full interview. It's long. If we tap out of stories and there's like a few minutes left, we could just play it until we call Uncle. But we'll see. We'll see if we get to it. Maybe if we don't, we'll do it next week.
Okay. Do you have another story? Or...
Well, I mean, you didn't. The Israel thing you just talked about was just kind of us bullshitting. So why don't you pull up one?
All right.
Hello, big boy. Are you all alone? Do you have that throbbing member in your hand? Do you want to come in 40 seconds? Please join Metaporn. Metaporn, where you can live in a village of tribal Indians. You can go to the final frontier of space. Want to live in the Old West? Not a problem. Would you like to fuck your stepmother? Not a problem. Live in a mansion with your entire family and fuck every orifice? Not a problem. For a small price of $49.95 for your first fuck counter, please enter your mom's credit card.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. A reminder, let's see. China's missile arsenal may soon rival the US. Here are the leading missiles it's stockpiling for a big fight. A reminder of China's growing might streaked across much of the Pacific on Wednesday. The showy test of an intercontinental ballistic missile is part of a vast and advancing missile force China is building to threaten neighbors and negate the US military's edge in the air and at sea. Oops. The US believes that China's rocket force has doubled the stocks of many of its missiles in recent years. While China has revealed the size of its nuclear arsenal, the country's nuclear arsenal is growing faster than any other country. A Pentagon report estimated that the country's arsenal has more than 500 operational nuclear warheads, more than half of which are ICBMs. Why do you need 500 fucking nuclear missiles? It only takes a couple. The report also projected that China will... Oh, go ahead, what?
I was just going to say mutually assured destruction of the entire planet. That's the idea of why we all have so many.
Yeah, I guess so. The report also projected that China will have more than 1,000 warheads by 2030, potentially able to deploy the same number of ICBMs as the US. Here are the major known missiles in China's arsenal that the country is stockpiling amid heightened tensions in the Indo-Pacific. That's it. It doesn't have any more of it. It says go to Business Insider, which I don't... Probably behind a paywall. No? Yeah, paywall. Motherfuckers. Anyways, we get the gist.
Right in my face.
China is, building up their nuclear weapons so that they can rival that of the United States. I'm telling you, man, I've been saying it all along. There's a plan. Russia and China have a plan. They're going to fuck us up eventually. They're tired of America being in charge of everything.
Don't forget about Iran. Iran,
oh,
so
yeah, they're there
far
too.
Away. I couldn't get away.
Iran's going to be right there with them. Turkey, too. I'm telling you, man, these motherfuckers, they're so tired of the United States and NATO running everything that they're all getting together. All the countries that have been, forsaken by NATO and the United States and Western countries are going to all get together and they're going to team up. And that's what's going to be the fucking catalyst for everything.
October surprise?
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised. It's dude, it's gonna happen.
Wouldn't be surprised if that's the October surprise.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't eventually pop off somewhere, with real like Poland gets hit. And next thing you know, we got Poland invading Russia, and the United States is activated, and then France and UK, all of them start heading towards Russia, and then China just fucks them up from the back or some shit. I mean, it's gonna get crazy. It could get crazy.
It's like if all of the fucking countries lubed up with 1,000 bottles of baby oil and went to a fucking Diddy freak off.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Diddy, dude.
All right, end your screen share,
How
but
about
before you do, look at this fucking blonde bitch right here.
I know, right?
She AI or what? That doesn't even look like a real person. That looks like a frantic Missy fucked a Chucky doll.
She looks like a Stepford wife.
She looks Barbie.
Bobby.
All right, Dusty. Why don't you just tell me your overall scoping opinion on this Diddy? Did he do it? Did he
So,
diddle?
so Diddy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his
Oh yeah.
house and
So the
480 dildos or some shit like that.
the FBI raided and confiscated, but there's all these rumors online about them being not baby oil, that it's actually like fucking something laced with a powerful drug.
Oh wow, wouldn't
You know how
surprise
people
me.
get. It could be just fucking gallons of adrenochrome for all we fucking know. Boom,
You
chicka,
never know.
boom, chicka. They know how to party.
Do
Nothing
you
like a
see
party
these
like a P. Diddy
celebrities
party.
trying to defend themselves? They're like, just because we were at a party of Diddy's doesn't mean we participated in the stuff that went on after the party.
This is John Legend. I swear to God, me and Chrissy Teigen, we left before they started butt fucking each other. Go get a Pfizer shot right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Pfizer shots are the best.
I actually, dude, I listen to these podcasts, these conspiracy podcasts that are on these large platforms where they get a goddamn commercial every 30 seconds. And a lot of them are like John Legend singing about getting vaccinated. And I'm like, why don't you sing about what you saw that night at a P. Diddy freak off? But he ain't singing
Dude,
about
there's no
that
telling
yet.
what's happened, what went on at those freak offs. There's no telling, man. And, like, bro, Diddy was a freak, like straight up a freak. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you,
Remember that weekend he spent with the Bieber? The Beeb?
dude, he probably did so much bad shit. Oh my God. He probably had like women just butt naked walking around his house, fucking
I mean, if you think
young
that's
women.
bad, I mean, that's probably like the tamest thing that was going on there.
Oh,
I
probably
mean,
had like young men butt naked doing whatever he
well, to
wanted to
me, it
them.
sounds like the buck broke thing. Remember the buck broke?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. From that guy from Cham Tripoli.
Viewers who don't know, there was this guy, and he ended up being controlled opposition for all we can tell. But Bishop Larry Gators was his name. And he was like on iHeartRadio, and he made all these podcast appearances. Dude, I'll tell you a little story here. Remember Jack Allen, conspiracy or just a
Yeah.
coincidence? He had him on, and he told me Larry was just going off, and he like kind of like cut in to steer the conversation or ask a question. And the guy texted him and said, please don't ask me questions, brother Jack. So anyway, but he had that theory of the buck broke, and basically, Dusty, correct me if I'm wrong, but in a nutshell, it was you put a black man into submission by fucking him in the ass and then making him do whatever you want because you have that shit to hold against him. Is
Yeah,
that
butt broke is wild.
so?
Yeah.
It seems to me like if that's a real thing, that's maybe what was going on at these parties. It's like, and we said this right when it happened. Like fucking Puffy is the, and I still call him Puff Daddy. Diddy was the fucking Epstein of the rap industry, and not even just the rap industry, the entertainment industry. And also, he was vote or die, motherfucker, vote or die. If not, I'm gonna stick a needle in your eye. Remember that South Park episode?
No.
The giant douche
Uh,
turd.
oh yeah, yeah, I know that one. The
So
giant
Puff
douche
Daddy
turd.
shows up in that episode, and he's like telling Stanway's got to vote, and they start singing the song. He's like, "I'll put my Jimmy through your mouth roof, so get that bitch ass in the polling booth." And it was all about like vote or die, motherfucker, vote or die. But I do want to revisit Kevin Bacon before we close out tonight because he put out another video.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
You know,
stop.
I did watch that episode, the douche and the turd
Dude,
sandwich.
so that fucking dude, I swear to God, Simpsons ain't got shit on South Park because South Park's coming back in full swing. Even the goddamn son of the Routh guy that tried to take Trump out at the golf course, he was like, he was like, yeah,
Yes,
my
he like
dad.
quoted South Park. He
Yeah,
like
so
quoted
did you hear Tim Dillon talking about that?
Yeah.
He's like, so first he's like, my dad's a good guy. He would never do anything like this. By the way, I've been estranged from him for years. But also, like, South Park was right. We're just voted for a douche or a turd. And if my dad wants to martyr himself for that cause, whatever. But anyway, So South Park with that, and then the Chimera shit that Alex Jones is talking about on Tucker Carlson. So in that very episode, Stan, because he doesn't vote, gets cast out of society, and PETA saves him. And they take him back to their compound, and they have like fucking chimeras and shit. There's all these people fucking animals. And Stan goes into this room, and they're like, yeah, if the General Cornwallis tells you that it's okay to stay, you can. And Stan walks in there, and there's just a goat like chewing on hay. And he just like looks at him, and Stan goes out. He's like, he said I could stay. And they're like, General Cornwallis is very wise. And then like the fucking ATF or something comes and just shoots up that compound. But they had chimeras, they had Diddy, they had this vote or die shit going on. It could be an episode today, and you would just change the candidates, and it would be fucking all else would be exactly dead on.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, that's what we have choices for an election for president every year. That episode couldn't have been more spot on. You're right, and I always love.
Am I right, or is Ralph's son right? Because he's the one who brought it up.
I guess Ralph's son's right. But we do always get to choose between a turd and a douche. I mean, it's like you can never get like somebody worth the shit to sit behind that desk. You got to think all the shit they probably went through and the corruption they went through to get there.
They all had to go to a Diddy freak off.
Yeah, or Epstein's Island.
All right, well, let's change it up again. I'm going to send you another link. But while I do that, let me get into character here.
You going to do a character?
Well, I always do them, but I never tried to do them physically, but... Dusty, did you hear that everything I've been saying over the last few years has been vindicated?
Yes, Mr. Kennedy, it has.
You did hear about that? Tell me what you know.
No, I don't know what's been vindicated.
You smart-ass motherfucker. I thought maybe you paid attention to politics there for a second.
I do to an extent.
I feel like you were just trying to go into that voice. All right.
Guess what? News. This is the former CDC director, Redfield. Listen to what Bobby Kennedy has to say about him and what happened. They had a meeting, and watch what happens.
I'll tell you something interesting that happened today, and I actually was going to mention this to Rand. So it was an extraordinary event to me, but Robert Redfield, who I really go after in my Fauci book, kind of a hammer and tongs, wrote an editorial in Newsweek magazine today saying that he was endorsing President Trump because President Trump was going to restore American health, and that President Trump, he said, a lot of people might surprise me to see this, but hear me say this, but he has chosen exactly the only person who can do this, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This was breathtaking to me because this is the guy who's the head of the CDC that I've been criticizing for years. And then this afternoon, he came over and had lunch with me. It's the first time I've ever met him. And the first thing he said to me is, "You got everything right."
Wow.
So that's Robert Redfield, former CDC director. And I think he knows it's all coming down. That if Trump gets reelected, they're going to have a vaccine panel. They're going to have a COVID panel. They're going to have... It's going to be like the Nuremberg thing. And he's just getting ahead of the brick wall by subtly now telling RFK, and you were right
so
about
negative,
everything.
Jimmy. Maybe he just
and he wrote this article. It's in Newsweek yesterday. Talk of healthcare reform often centers on cost to consumers. So He talks about, for instance, obesity in American children has increased dramatically since John F. Kennedy's presidency, from around 4% in the 60s to 20% in 2024. I thought it was almost half.
You can end it. I just wanted to show that first part.
1 in 5 children are obese.
Which is 25%. So the numbers were slightly right. Jimmy said half. But anyway, so Robert Redfield, I remember, I mean, I think he pretty much was the head of the CDC in the height of COVID.
Yeah.
And he wasn't singing this tune then. I wonder what changed for him. You think Jimmy's right that he smells the heat coming, or he realizes that RFK fucking Jr. was right all along? If you don't listen to me, you're a goddamn fucking retard.
Well, I think that he's right in both departments. I think the guy had a realization that everything they did was wrong, and he knows it's all about to come down on them.
You really think they're going to have a Nuremberg-esque COVID panel if Trump becomes president?
That'd be interesting.
I'm not disagreeing. That would be interesting. But do you think that's a possibility that would happen?
Yeah, I doubt it. They talk shit all the time. None of that shit's going to happen.
We can't believe that, or we can't forget the fact that I got the vaccines out faster than any other president would have. Operation Warp Speed. I got it tattooed on my left ass cheek. When Melania pegs me, she has to look at it. Warp Speed. And I'm not going to fucking forget about it. Like, dude, how do they walk this line? He brings RFK Jr. on, who's fucking anti-COVID vax, but Trump has never, and will he ever, say I was wrong about Operation Warp Speed?
No, fuck no, he ain't never gonna say it. Because he thinks it was a great idea.
Can I make a prediction? I think between now and Election Day, Trump is going to admit that he was wrong about it. And that'll be huge. It'll be huge. People will come from
that
miles
might be
around.
his October surprise.
I'm just saying, you bring RFK Jr. on, you have shit like this happen with the fucking ex-CDC director who was in charge during COVID saying Robert Kennedy Jr. was fucking right all along. Well, why would Trump fucking keep claiming that Operation Warp Speed was a good idea if this is the route they're going? He's got to fucking get on board with it. He's the head dog.
He's got to. Yeah, true. And I blame
Maybe he'll announce it on Joe Rogan.
That fucking vaccine fucking to the market, you know. Dude, I just saw where a 23-year-old athlete died suddenly today. Like, that shit used to not happen, man. You didn't hear about, like...
But it would every once in a while.
Every once in a while. But I've heard about more young people dropping dead in the last few years than I think I've ever heard in my life.
You know what's going to solidify it is when Jon Stewart finally says it.
Yeah. He ever says it. He seems pretty bought by the establishment.
You still like him. I'm always
I
telling
do.
you.
I do, but I feel like I don't know. Like, especially since Kamala got put in, he hadn't been criticizing her like he should. Like, I feel like, which I hadn't watched him since he did back her a lot during the debate thing. That's the last time I watched him, and tried to make her look like she was just slaughtered Trump in the debate. And
I mean, the fact that she even made it questionable is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, because what it was, they were goading him. They were trying to get his dumb ass to snap, and he did.
Yeah. My mom would be like, he didn't lose that debate, but she did watch it, so I'm still not going to. If they have another one, I'm going to fucking slam some Vicodin and stick a butt plug in and fucking watch it. Because I don't think there's going to be a second one.
Trump thinks he won that one, so he don't think there needs to be another one.
Well, if he thinks he won that, it's because the fucking St. Louis Rams tackled you right before you got to the end zone. It was that fucking close.
Are you planning on going ass to ass tonight? Maybe even just low-key rim job.
Perhaps you didn't have the prep time necessary for a stink-free experience. Well, don't you worry. We've got your back and your ass. Butt mints. That's right, butt mints. Mints for the stankest of your holes. Once you pop the butt mint, the sky is the limit. A fart is a form of a minty kiss. A REM session more powerful than any methylated lozenge. Butt mints. Use promotional code DISINFO to get the first mint shoved up your anus for no charge.
What do you got next there, good sir? If you
Let's
don't have
see.
anything,
I really don't have anything.
you want to watch a little bit of this fucking Tucker Alex Jones thing? Because we could watch as much of this as you'd like.
Yeah, let's watch a little bit of it.
All right, I'm going to send you the link. Should have already done that. Look at me, unprepared. I already stuck a butt plug in my ass anyway. Newsom butt plugs. That was one of our first commercials, but I didn't make it a commercial. I should go back and dig that out over one of our older episodes.
Dude, I didn't pull out any characters because my son came in here looking for one of those splat ball guns and freaking tore my entire area apart that had all my wigs and shit. And now I can't see one of them.
Well,
what the fuck he did?
You could always do Leroy. Or
Yeah, I
Frank.
can always do Leroy.
Frank's been hiding lately, by the way.
I can
Frank,
do Frank.
you had a pair of sunglasses. Frank would be easy to pull off with that hat you're wearing. All right. I just sent you the link there, good sir. And I don't know, like, when Alex Jones starts getting into the good stuff here, so call Uncle whenever you're ready to go call it and go to bed. They also liquidated all of InfoWars resources, I saw.
I want to bring out our next guest, who, and let me just say, we had a little trouble finding an arena that would take him because he's so controversial. And I'm grateful to where we are right now and to the people of Pennsylvania. But let me just say, can I say one thing about Alex Jones? So Alex Jones is one of those people you're supposed to be very shocked by. Here's the one fact about Alex Jones that I can't get over. Alex Jones predicted 9/11.
Bill Cooper did, you fuck.
Think about this for a sec. And he did so on tape. Now, I worked in television my whole life. When you're on TV, there's a timestamp. We don't need to guess. I'm on TV for decades saying super dumb things which live forever on YouTube. Alex Jones, in the summer of 2001, said, you need to call the White House right now because planes are going to hit the World Trade Center and they're going to blame it on Osama bin Laden. He said that. I've seen the tape. You can look it up. So, no, check us out. So I lived in D.C. at the time. Trust me, I had a daily news show on another channel. Not one person was saying anything like that. So Alex Jones says that. It's on tape. We can prove he said that. It happens. Why didn't the U.S. government call Alex Jones and say, how could you have not? Clearly you're a prophet of some kind. We need you in this global war on terror because clearly you can see things that nobody else can see. That's incredible. Have you even met anybody who's predicted something like that? No, you haven't. Like, I've never met anyone. I met everybody.
Yeah, he got shot in his front yard.
Like that. But instead of celebrating Alex Jones for making the most unbelievable call in the history of the news business, they set about, the FBI sets about trying to destroy him. And so begins this incredible saga of lies about Alex Jones, which you probably all heard about. I'm not going to relitigate it, but that was the FBI that did that. And they try to bankrupt Alex Jones. They try to put Alex Jones in prison. Why would you put the guy who called that in prison? This guy is clearly on the side.
How fast do you think you can expand your territory?
Really fast.
Welcome to Star Trek.
Side of the United States. He's trying to help our country. So that fact, if there's only one thing you know about everything I said is 100% true, by the way. I'm not guessing about this, is fact. If there's one thing to know about Alex Jones, it's that. And on the basis of that, I will always believe, and I will always say in public, that Alex Jones is the most extraordinary person I've ever met. And so I am proud to have him. Not having him here because it's like naughty, ooh, Alex Jones. It's like, no. I'm proud to know Alex Jones. I'm proud to know the person who tried to warn the country about the worst terror attack in our history and was persecuted for it. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones. It's so funny, going back to the point.
Looks like Joe Rogan.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Tucker's the best, not me. Tucker.
Well, it's true, and it makes me mad, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, that the only thing they're good at is seizing the moral high ground, and they try to make you ashamed of the best things about your life, like being married or having normal kids or not castrating your children or whatever, or knowing Alex Jones. They're like, oh, how can you know Alex Jones? And I'm sick of it, and I'm just going to say that Alex Jones is my friend. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Does he not seem a little drunk?
I'm not ashamed, and you shouldn't be either.
You'd have to be.
Ashamed. He called 9/11, and they tried to put him in jail for it. So anyway, thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. I got to say, I love you. This is a beautiful state full of beautiful people. And when we get President Trump elected, all of us together are going to lift the curse off of this country, and we're going to send the globalists to prison.
No, you're not.
It is amazing to meet all these great people, and whether they're black, white, old, young, to see the electricity in people's eyes that are populist and that are Americans and that love God and that love children and love freedom and hate tyranny. I can feel the strength in this auditorium at capacity in Reading, Pennsylvania. And like I told the globalists a long time ago.
You're a WWE guy. Does he not just sound like a guy in WWE?
Yeah, he sounds like a professional wrestler when he talks.
I mean, do you want to watch any of what he says? Because I think that intro is key enough for us to go off of. He goes off on like some of the shit he's talked about before. If you want to watch some of it, we can.
No, it's good. I'm good. I know all his stuff he's talked about.
Yeah, so he blows up all the stuff he usually talks. Dude, there's people I listen to in the conspiracy community. I'm not going to call them out by name because I like their show, but they were like, I trust Alex Jones. Alex Jones has never been wrong. Dude, Alex Jones is one of the biggest fear peddlers in the conspiracy industry in the history of fucking conspiracy. What Tucker's saying right there, dude, you and I have talked about it on this show before. Bill Cooper fucking called 9/11. He got killed in his front yard a few months later by the IRS and the cops. And then Alex Jones took what fucking he was saying and took credit for it. So, fuck you, Tucker, for everything that you're.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, he goes off and
he almost sounded like he was talking about his friend while he was drunk. That's what it sounded like. He's just the best guy ever.
You guys are gonna love him, I swear to God. Anyway, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, 2028. I'm calling it right
Tucker
now.
Carlson selling out like arenas and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
selling out theaters.
when you get fired from Fox, your career is over. Remember what we were saying? He's going to be bigger than ever. He's going to have his own network. He's going to do everything he's doing now. And he's going to infiltrate the fringes of the retarded conspiracy crowd because a lot of people are buying this bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah. You think he's just a plant?
Dude, I think he's Bill Hicks. I think he's fucking been a plant from the beginning. I think the real Alex Jones was swapped out in the fucking mid-90s for this guy who is Bill Hicks, who is supposedly dead.
No, I'm talking about Tucker.
Oh, of course. Dude, Tucker, my mom was telling me, so I didn't watch this, so this is hearsay, but my mom doesn't steer me wrong. So he was like, "Oh my God, my dad has all these CIA connections." It just hit me like, what was going on? Yeah. Putin even said, "So you were trying to be CIA and that didn't work out for you, huh?" Yeah. He said that tongue in cheek. The Putin stand-in, by the way, because that motherfucker's been dead for 5 years.
Easily over here.
Do you have a crazy vagina? Does your vagina scream late at night and tell you that it needs to be rubbed? Well, we have the cream for you. Vagistop. That's right, Vagistop. It stops those horny nights when you don't have a dick to enter your vagina. Are you single? Does your life suck? Are you miserable? Have you not had sex in 6 months? Are you dying to get that pussy smashed? Well, let me tell you about the Vibrator 6000. It smashes vaginas at the speed of light. I'm not joking. You can even tone it down to fuck you at the speed of sound. The Mach 2 vibrator. Side effects may include fingernails falling off, toenails growing longer. You may grow pubic hairs between your fingers and your toes, but it's totally worth it. Vagistop. For those unwanted horny nights.
All right, you ready to do rants?
I'm ready for you to do one. You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stop trying to kill each other, you crazy son of bitches. Presidents, we don't need a president to get shot. We don't need a fucking ex-president to get shot. If Iran does it, that's just going to give them more of a reason to go to war with Iran. If they can pin it on Iran, they will in a heartbeat. If they can pin it on Putin, they will in a heartbeat. Don't give them that satisfaction. Stop trying to shoot Trump. Don't shoot Kamala. Don't shoot Biden. Don't shoot anybody. Stop being dumbasses. Let the election run its course. But like I've said before, if you keep pretending that Hitler's running, people are going to act like Hitler's running. And what would you do if you could take out Hitler? So that's what people are thinking. And I'll be honest with you, there's probably going to be a few more, you never know if there's going to be a few more people coming after Trump. But don't do it. It's not worth it. You're not going to get that $150,000. They're going to kill you before you get it. They're going to catch you before you get it. So don't even try. I mean, you're stupid. It's just stupid. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's $150 million because you're taking a huge risk trying to.
I was going to say $150K for an assassination on a fucking presidential.
Yeah, isn't a lot. It's not worth risking your life for. And you literally are risking your life.
That's what Tim Pool was getting from RT via fake French billionaire from Lauren Chin per episode. You could do better than $150K.
Yeah, more like 150 million or some shit.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I'm at work, but I had kind of a fun weekend because you know what I did? I thought about November and I thought, I don't actually know exactly where I'm going to be. Let me get an absentee ballot. You know how long that took me to get my absentee ballot? I'd say about 35 seconds. I should have timed it, but it was easy. And now I'm just waiting for a great package to arrive in the mail. It's like I just ordered myself something fun and something important online, and it's going to be sent to me, and I'm going to exercise my right as an American citizen to V-O-T-E. Can't wait to get that ballot.
Kevin Bacon is at it again, and I consider this to be the vote or die, motherfucker, vote or die of the Obama election, which P. Diddy was in charge of. I call this the whip out the bacon, and jam the vote down your throat. And I'm so fucking sick of celebrities telling people how to vote. There's a bunch of fucking brainwashed masses that will fucking make their decision on how they're gonna vote when they fucking walk up into the ballots. They're gonna say, Kevin Bacon told me to vote, and blah, 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 blah. But that's not what fucking bugs me about this. I don't give a shit if the brainwashed masses are gonna be fucking swayed by these celebrity endorsements. The reason it pisses me off is a more selfish reason, and that is, I like watching movies. I like listening to music, and it's getting really fucking hard for me to separate the fucking douchebaggery political shit that these celebrities do in their real lives, and then I gotta go watch it's like watching Tom Hanks now. I can't enjoy The Green Mile without fucking imagining Tom Hanks torso deep in a toddler. Now I gotta fucking watch Kevin Bacon fucking wag his dick around telling me who to vote for. I'm never fucking going to enjoy Footloose again as long as I live.
Bless your heart. That's just terrible.
I don't know, man. How do you deal? Are you able to separate the art from the artist?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
You have to, or could you enjoy anything?
yeah, I've stopped listening to like what they say about anything. Like a artist opinion means jack shit to me. And
Well, you're not a retard.
and also if like with the Tom Hanks thing, dude, I hear you say he's a pedophile and all that shit, but there's never
I
been
never
no
said that.
proof. No, I'm saying people say that.
They want us to think it.
There's never been no proof. Like, you know what I'm saying? So until there's
So
proof,
do you got to walk in on the guy fucking a kid before you believe it?
No, but I mean, there has to be some kind of proof. It's not hearsay. You can't just go off hearsay.
Have you looked at the guy's
I mean,
Instagram?
anybody can make up a rumor.
Exactly. But dude, these rumors like Steven Spielberg, Rob Reiner.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were.
Jimmy Savile was only a rumor until he died, and then they found torture dungeons and fucking little kid skeletons.
Oh,
and they
no.
found so I mean, dude, these fucking celebrities, like especially Kevin Bacon, right there, like, oh mom, by the way, he took your advice. He's wearing blue on white now. He's not wearing white on white. So I hope that you liked this video because his style choices are a little more apt to the palatable taste of the masses. But at the same time, I think that he owes a favor. He doesn't look like he wants to be saying that shit. That's just my opinion.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. He probably owes several favors. Yeah, he probably owes somebody something. You don't get movies and stuff forever if you're not owned.
Yeah. I mean, dude, this Diddy shit could just be a show. I mean, they're saying like Jay-Z and Ashton Kutcher are next, and then the dominoes are gonna fall. But this to me sounds a lot like the Q shit that we were promised back in the day. Be interesting to see where it goes. All right, sweet cheeks.
Ain't no telling.
Tell all the lovelies where they can find you.
As always, you can find me at YouTruthCast on Twitter. You can find me or X. You can find me at Disinfobation on X. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on all your podcast platforms except Apple. Those fuckers still ain't put us on. All right, enjoy, and remember, I'll be staring from the foot of your mother's bed, throwing pebbles at the tip of her head until she wakes up.
Only the tip of her head? Just the tip?
Only the tip of her head.
I think moms all over the world will approve. As always, you can find me at conspiracyplaytime.com for my other show. We're just dropping a new episode, and it's a little different. I think, you esoteric, spiritually minded folk might enjoy it. You can find me at conspiracy_play on Twitter. I've been playing around there a little bit more lately, doing some shit posting. You can always find us here, Disinfobation. We're going live now to a bigger audience over at the Cosmic Peach feed, and if you guys don't like this show, don't blame her. I've warned her about putting us on, but she wanted to do it anyway, so here we are.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, buddy.
All right, homie. Peace
Get
out.
a decent episode out of this. I love you. We'll see you next
Love
time.
you too, homie. See ya. For sure.
All right. Boom.